And we have guests from Kyoto, but also from afar. We are very, very thankful that you made the time to come today. We've had this event since yesterday. Yesterday was also a very full event. We had a poet, rapper, and we also had many different guest speakers, senpais and kohais, really giving and to each other and really sharing that moment experience together. It was a wonderful Friday. And today, for this Saturday, we have another full schedule of really wonderful speakers and guests, and also students, researchers, different people of different backgrounds who are living in Japan, who are being very active in Japan, researching, learning, teaching, and being very active in the Japanese society.
I'm going to talk about today is a little bit, I'm going to talk about a little bit about activism and about scholarship and the positionality that comes from being between those things, but also a little bit about being foreign and the fact of foreignness. What is it like to be here in Japan and Japanese universities? And I think for many of us, being foreign is an uneasy sort of situation, and I want to argue that it's a wonderful situation and one that we should fully embrace in a lot of ways.
私はですね、1968年日本で生まれ育った今年57歳の在日コリアン3世なんですが、在日文学の詩人として長年こう生きてきたわけなんです。このように私にとって詩人として生きるということは在日コリアンとして生きるということであり、むしろこう在日コリアンを生きるために私は詩人になったとも言えます。私は普段自分のことを無国籍の在日サラムだと言っています。サラムとはコリア語で人という意味を表す言葉で、コリア民族の総称として韓国や朝鮮ではなくこのサラムっていうのを私はあえて、用いています。また私は朝鮮籍者ではあるんですが、大韓民国の国民でも、朝鮮民主主義人民共和国の国民でもない無国籍の朝鮮籍者として日々暮らしています。無国籍者の視座から見ると国民というのが化け物に見える時があります。国民は殺したくなくても殺さなくてはならない兵士という化け物になったり、同じ人間なのに国籍で差別する化け物になったりします。果たして国民であること、国籍を持つこと、それで本当に幸せでしょうか。
なぜあの場所で俺たちは出会って退屈な現実向き合って窮屈だが肩を寄せ合って腹抱え笑ったよな Your life なぜ時だけが無情に過ぎ去って大人になってくのに俺だけお前の言葉が突き刺さって今はこうなった
Hi everyone, my name is Jackie Kim Wathetka, project representative of Global Japan seen through ethno-cultural diversity, linking of higher education and community collaboration initiative. This initiative was brought together by myself and my very, very talented students who gave me this idea of how our community and society can thrive here in a multicultural, multi-ethnic Japan. They are talented from many different life experiences. They have so many wonderful qualities. And I thought to myself, when we bring all of these treasures and talents together, that we could actually create a wonderful community and society which equates to the kind of community and society that we could have here in a growing global Japan. And as I had expected, all of their talents, making networks and reaching out to many other different talents of people who have foreign roots, bringing researchers, activists, rap singer, PhD scholars, also community leaders, and people who work in governmental offices for a multicultural, multi-ethnic Japan, helping foreign population adjust to their lives here in Japan. We had an array of talents who really brought a fruitful gathering of collaboration. So this collaborative initiative was a coming together of minds and talents. And I think that we had an excellent grassroots initiative that will branch out to more and more communities that are coming up and growing here in our global Japan.
Hi, my name is Himari Shimamura. I'm a graduate of International Relations at RITSUMEIKAN University 2025. And what I learned from this grassroots was that the activeness of each community and individual, because I participated in an activity with NGO called KFC in Nagata Ward, and also I researched about women in Okinawa, and also I went to Utoro in Uji, Kyoto, to see how the multiculturalism are happening in each community. And what I learned the most from those communities is the fact that each individual is actively seeking ibasho and also actively participating in events, and also even the people who have different background and roots, and also Japanese nationals as well, they all together gather up and create active community. I think that is what I learned, what ibasho is. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jingxin Liu. I'm a third-year student studying at RITSUMEIKAN University College of IR, and I am honored to be one of the organizer and presenter of this event. So I have been interested in the situation the situation that Chinese students faced in Japan. And this event provided me a chance to do my own research on situations that Chinese students in Japan are facing, and provide me the chance to talk with other scholars who is studying migration research. So many of my Chinese friends has expressed their desire to return to China. This made me start thinking about, is there any social, like structural barriers such as prejudice and discrimination exist in this society? I assume that the seniority-based system in a traditional Japanese workplace might be big barrier or a disadvantage for Chinese student, because becoming successful in young age is a shared value in the Chinese society. So to explore this further, I did my own research. I interviewed some of the Chinese students I know, and some Chinese working adults working in Japan. So it is interesting that I found that like many of the interviewees viewed the stability provided by the seniority system as an advantage of Japanese workplace. But also they mentioned some of the challenges they faced here. For example, a salesperson shared her own experience. She found that the Japanese customers prefer to be served by Japanese staff. I think this revealed that Japanese customers do not trust in foreign workers' language abilities. Chinese students are only one of the elements in this in Japan's multicultural society, but the situation they are facing and their demands, their challenges can reveal the overall demand by other communities in this society. So I believe to prove Japan to be a more multicultural society, the demands of every communities should be concerned and addressed. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cha Mokwan. I'm from South Korea. I'm living in Japan for 2.5 years. Before I talk about my presentation and my collaboration at the grassroots events, I'm living in Japan as a foreigner. But back in Korea, I was seeing other foreigners as a foreigner, as a national, Korean nationals. I had the experience on foreigners like currently my mother is running a educational voluntary organization for West Africans, and I am one of the co-founder of the organization, and I have involved in those businesses, that kind of businesses. So back in Korea, I always saw the West Africans as a foreigner, but now now I'm here in Japan. The Japanese see me as a foreigner, so that's very complex feelings that I have. But still, also through the grassroots events, I saw other foreigners a lot. So now I see them as a foreigner. At the same time, I'm being a foreigner. So there have been 3 steps I had. So it was kind of through the stages, I have changed my mind. Before I was involved in the West Africans, I had no idea about the foreigners. I was not interested in them. I didn't care whether they live in Korea or whatever, but they were there, living there for decades. Say similar in Japan. Maybe some Japanese don't care about us, but we are here. We have especially the Chinese Koreans have more than 100 years of history. We are here. Whether you like or not, we are here. And I should say the Koreans are the majority of the minorities. compared to other ethnic groups, Koreans have plenty of numbers. Include the descendants of the Koreans. I think there are more than 1 million Chinese Korean living in Japan. That's quite a lot compared to other ethnics. So here in Japan, through the grassroots events, I realized that I didn't much care about the minorities of the minorities. So step by step, I learned new things. I'm starting to realize new things that I never have cared, or I didn't even know about it. So the grassroots events was kind of broadening my views on foreigners, and let me think. So my mindset has changed a lot through the events, and now I started to fear that how I can face the others, not just that they are not as sorry. Not to see them as foreigners, but as a human beings, the same human beings like me. I'm started learning about them. I started to think about how I should accept them, and how I think of them. That's the meaning of the grassroots events for me. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Mai. I'm Vietnamese and I have been living in Japan for the past 2 years. 2 years not a long time, but I have experienced a lot of things, and I also get to understand the relationship of between Japanese and foreign people. And with that experience, I came to the event with a lot of questions in my mind, and very lucky and very honored that most of my question was answered. And to summarize the things that I learned through the event in 2 words would be opportunities and reasons. First, to build an inclusive Japan, I now have learned that we have to give both Japanese reason to respect and to love and to live together with people coming from everywhere in the world. And second, we have to give the people who come here the reason to love Japan, to work with Japan, to live with Japanese people. And second, the thing I learned is that opportunity is really important. We have to give Japanese people opportunities to understand why living together with other multi-ethnicity people is important, and we have to give people coming here opportunities to adapt life here in Japan, because it's very difficult for people who move here by themselves or even with family. There's a lot of things they have to learn. There's a lot of things they have to adapt and change. So that opportunities and reason are really important.
Hello, my name is Elian and I'm from Indonesia. And for the grassroots event yesterday, I really learned a lot about multi-ethnicity in Japan. And even despite the saying that Japan is a homogeneous country, there are many minorities that are currently increasing and they're living in Japan. And one of them that is where I'm focused on, which I'm interested in, is especially in the Muslim communities, because it's not only there are more than one ethnicity over there. Even for them from the Muslim community itself, there's like multi-ethnicity, and the fact that they're living in Japan, it even like mixed with the Japanese cultures and those various cultures. And the one big thing in the Muslim community is the restriction of our diets, which is called halal. And yeah, because Japan is not really a Muslim majority country, so there are many foods that are used from and are made from food that Muslim people cannot eat, like for example pork and alcohol. And the Japanese food culture is like very deeply rooted with those ingredients. But then like from one speaker from yesterday's event, she proved that she can successfully open a halal Japanese ramen, and it's still an authentic Japanese ramen without changing the Japanese-ness inside of it, and it's halal. So I really think if halal became like, if everyone knows about halal, and we can just, it's not even alter or change, just like use an alternative for the ingredients. Like everyone can taste like what Japanese food really is, just like a few ingredients of it. So that's like what multi-ethnicity in my mind, that like halal can be a bridge between food cultures, and in this case like between the Japanese food cultures. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lynn. It's very nice to zoom in from Vietnam. I have already graduated, but it is very nice to participate and be part of RITS like this again. Participating in the global Japan scene through ethnocultural diversity event really helped me to broaden my mind about surrounding communities, including the Chinese, Koreans, Filipinos, the Vietnamese, the Zainichis, etc., who have been struggling but also thriving as students, as workers, as social activists, or as scholars. And the event also makes me think about the meaning of multiculturalism. And for me, a student who has spent like 6 years, 1/3 of my life in Japan, I discovered that although multiculturalism is usually treated as a buzzword, the core value of it is very simple. It is the joyful feeling of making a new friend and being included, connected, and appreciated. And I have genuinely felt this during my study at RITS, where I made meaningful memories with my friends. And we all know that globalization brings about change, but change is not always fun, and it can be really stressful or even painful. But I believe that if we adapt, challenge our mindsets, and constantly think of practical solutions, we can achieve multiculturalism. And during this event, not only was I able to learn about different perspectives, but I also had some hands-on experiences to coordinate on online platforms and mentoring for my co-his. And I'm really glad that I can keep it the connection with Japan and with RITS students and professors, and while I am still developing as a Shakaijin and as a person of society.
Doing this event was for me, very special. Why? These days I've been really thinking about, because I've been here in Japan for a long time, and I think I've been kind of thinking about what is my place here in Japan. For me, the event was very fruitful, like what I said, because we were all together, right? And we had a certain kind of vision about how we wanted to put the event together, because we wanted to allow it to be of diverse backgrounds, and not just academics and scholars, but people from the community So, and that's the reason why I think that it was very important for us to have community leaders, but also people who work in the theater of the community, doing outreach for ethnic minorities who are adjusting to Japan. And that was one of the talks of one of the speakers who works in the city office in Aichi. Right? And that was quite impressive in the ways that she tries to outreach to her Nikkei Brazilian community in Aichi. We also had Funi, who was the rapper, and he is a third generation Zainichi Korean who raps not only about his own existence here in Japan, but also minorities elsewhere. We had the poet. The poet was very, very effective with many of the people who attended the event, read his poetry, which was really for him something so moving.
I also learned about the new aspect of the Chinese Koreans. Before I come here, before I do the event, I only cared about the South Korean Chinese. But I have met a student RITSUMEIKAN student from the Chosen Gakko, which is North Korean affiliated one, and also I met the poet who has a Chosen national. So, I mean, just within the Chinese Korean boundaries, my boundary of the Chinese Korean is expanded a lot. So I always felt that, I mean, after the event, I felt that I was living in the very tiny world that I can only see only the people around me, but there are still more people around me. Then they exist and they live their own styles, which is quite similar from me, but at the same time they are different because they have different background from me. So yeah, it's kind of a big meaningful event for me to see those kind of people.
And you had the Vietnamese, PhD candidate from Waseda, and she came all the way from Tokyo to speak. And I think she was a wonderful mentor for you, because now she's teaching at Ikkyo University, right? And she talked about the Vietnamese situation here in Japan, and I think that really affected you in a lot of ways, right?
Yes. So as a Vietnamese background person, student here in Japan, I do know something about Vietnamese living in Japan. However, both Dr. Lê and alumni Hai has brought new perspective about how can I do as an individual to help other Vietnamese newcomers. How do I understand about their circumstances, and how can I together work with both Vietnamese and Japanese to build a better life where we can decide we can lead our better lives.
Lydia, because she's a wonderfully smart woman and who has future vision about halal food here in Japan. And I do have to say, thanks to you, you brought this wonderful information of halal to life. And it was really important for you, especially because she's Indonesian, you're Indonesian, and also you work with her, and you have expressed what a wonderful influence that she is in your life. And when I met her and through her speech, I understood the importance of halal and the growing impact of halal here in Japan.
Yes, I think so too, because like especially for my previous paper, I did found that the amount of people, like Muslim people especially living in Japan, are rapidly increasing, and we need to note that like the Muslim community isn't only consists of one ethnicity, it's like more than one, like there are Bangladesh, Pakistan, Indonesia, Malaysia, and any other countries. Therefore, I really think if we can popularize Japan, if we can popularize halal so everyone knows about it, like it really could be like a bridge between like food cultures, because like everyone can eat halal food, anyone.
Ines, you reached out to a lot of the Chinese students who are doing their advanced studies here at RITSUMEIKAN. And I think that all of their research on especially gender and labor and also human rights that really made an impact for you, right?
Yes, so research did by my senpai really inspired me a lot, such as one of my senpai did her research. She's doing the master grade, and her research about gender studies really inspired me a lot because I'm also interested in the same issue, and I know this is the topic that it's quite hard to study in China. So studying in Japan really provided us a new perspective of study.
Mawari, you as a Japanese scholar who will now do continuing graduate work in Taiwan, you were always very interested in multicultural and multi-ethnic Japan. Through this event, what kind of impact did it have on your life?
So one of the things I learned from this event was the fact that I was also accepted because as a Japanese student who decided to study at university all in English, it was really hard for me, but also I was able to meet amazing student friends, and through this event I also felt like I was accepted, and this is my ibasho, and actively seeking for community and building things.
なぜあの場所で俺たちは出会って退屈な現実向き合って窮屈だが肩を寄せ合って腹抱え笑ったよなよな Your life なぜ時だけが無情に過ぎ去って大人になってくのに俺だけお前の言葉が突き刺さって今はこうなったのかなかな My life これは確立されたディープコミュニティのストーリー一人一人が自分を確立なんてできずに傷を見せ合ってディスり合ってできたストーリー一人一人が自分なんて確立できずに確率よりも逆説を信じて生きるんだ歪んだ社会の隙間持たざる者の文化愛に満ちた排気ガスを一緒に吸い込んだそれが俺とお前を生んだなぜあの場所で俺たちは出会って退屈な現実向き合って窮屈だが肩を寄せ合って腹抱え笑ったよなよな Your life なぜ時だけが無情に過ぎ去って大人になってくのに俺だけお前の言葉が突き刺さって今はこうなっちまった My life